Yesterday, we read about Jesus' words regarding giving. Do it. Do it because it's what a citizen of the kingdom of heaven does, but do it without gaining praise for yourself. Jesus essentially tells the crowd the same thing about prayer immediately after, and then he shows them how to pray. We looked at that passage in the video Pray with Boldness, and you can watch that video in the link here on the screen or down below in the description. Today, we're looking at the third part in this group of teachings on giving, praying, and fasting. And when you fast, do not look gloomy like the hypocrites, for they disfigure their faces, that their fasting may be seen by others. Truly I say to you, they have received their reward. But when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, that your fasting may not be seen by others, but by your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you. Jesus assumes, as with prayer and giving, that we will fast. For most of us, fasting is kind of a foreign concept. It's not a regular practice we participate in. Maybe we've fasted because a doctor asked us to do it for blood work or another medical procedure. Maybe we've done intermittent fasting for weight loss or other health reasons. Some of us have possibly done a bit of fasting for personal spiritual growth, but it's a pretty uncommon thing for most Christians today. Back in the winter quarter of this year, I was teaching a class on spiritual disciplines, these practices Christians have historically dedicated themselves to help them grow in their relationship with God. And fasting was both our first and final session. I believe we don't fast often enough, but I also think many of us fast for the wrong reasons, or maybe fast at times that don't make sense when we consider the historical context of fasting. I often tell people that fasting is not about what we fast from, but what we fast toward. It's not about food, it's about moving in the direction that God is calling us. We ask these questions: what is God doing? How can I be involved in what God is doing? What might God be asking me to let go of to be involved in his activity? What might be serving as a distraction from God's voice in my life? Where is God in the struggle I'm currently facing? Fasting begins with questions and moves us toward God's response. Fasting is intimately linked to prayer, meditation, study, worship, and so many other disciplines. It offers us the opportunity to feast on time with God and set aside our reliance on what makes sense from a worldly perspective. But Jesus calls us to do it for those reasons and not to be seen as righteous in the eyes of the world. I love you. And my prayer for you today is this: trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight.